Hello and welcome to Joe Marquis Wagers. Today is Monday, August 19th, 2024. Today I'm going to do a preview of the AFC West. As a reminder, last season the Chiefs finished on top, not just of the division, but of the entire NFL as they won their second consecutive Super Bowl. They have a very realistic chance of becoming the first team to ever three-peat as Super Bowl champs. No other team in the AFC West finished with a winning record, as both the Raiders and Broncos finished 8-9, while the Chargers ended up just 5-12. It was a tough year for the rest of the division, as both the Raiders and the Chargers ended up firing their head coaches during the season. I went through each team's schedule week by week and decided if they were going to win or lose that game. Here is the breakdown for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have a brutal schedule this year, especially at the beginning of the year. I think the Chiefs are one of the three best teams in the AFC, along with the Ravens and the Bengals. Wouldn't you know it, but the Chiefs play the Ravens in week 1 and the Bengals in week 2. The tiebreakers for the number 1 seed in the AFC could be decided in the first 2 weeks. The last I looked, the Chiefs still have Patrick Mahomes. I have them finishing at the top of the division again with a record of 12-5. The next AFC West team I looked at was the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders looked like a much better team last year after they fired Josh McDaniels. The team seemed to adopt the hard-nosed personality of head coach Antonio Pierce, a 9-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion. The Raiders did not draft a QB this year. Their starter will be journeyman QB Gardner Minshew. Beginning to wonder if Minshew is the new Ryan Fitzpatrick, as this will be his 4th team in 6 years. The Raiders have a brutal stretch in the middle of the year, starting in week 7, as they play at the Rams, home against the Chiefs, at the Bengals, their bye, followed by at the Dolphins. I think the Raiders will be competitive in every game, but I think they are still at least a year away from challenging the Chiefs. I have the Raiders finishing 7-10 and out of the playoffs. The third AFC West team I looked at was the Denver Broncos. The Broncos did draft a QB this year. They drafted Bo Nix out of Oregon. Well, it hasn't been officially announced. It looks like he's going to be the week 1 starter. He has simply outperformed Stidham and Zach Wilson in the preseason. I also think the Broncos will be playing from behind this year, so I played Bo Nix to have the most regular season rookie passing yards this year. I got it at plus 800 on DraftKings. Both Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams will also be week 1 starters, but they are both dual threat QBs, and a lot of their production will come with their legs. While I don't like Sean Payton personally, there is no arguing the fact that he is a good coach. I think he will eventually turn this team around, but I don't think it happens this year. I think the Broncos end up 6-11 and out of the playoffs. The last AFC West team is the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers still have Justin Herbert. They have a new head coach in Jim Harbaugh who simply wins everywhere he goes, and they have a last place schedule. This is a perfect recipe for a great season. They lost some star wide receivers in the offseason, but neither of them was reliable from an injury standpoint anyways. I think Harbaugh gets the most out of this team, and they finished just behind the Chiefs with a record of 11-6 as they snag one of the wild card spots. The Chargers are also the only team in the AFC West with any value on their DraftKings win total. DraftKings has them set at 8.5 wins, and I have them winning 11 games this year. So I played them to go over 8.5 wins on DraftKings at minus 155. I also played them to go over 9.5 wins on Bet365 at plus 160. Obviously, I think the Chiefs win this division, but I didn't place a wager on it. The Chiefs are minus 230 to win the division. There's just not enough value for me to make that wager. That wraps up my breakdown on the AFC West. The NFC East video will be out in a couple of days. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, Joe Marquis Wagers. If you have already subscribed, thank you, and please share my channel on all of your social media platforms. Good luck on all of your wagers, and in this case, your futures wagers as well. And remember, when it comes to wagering, there is no such thing as a lock. There are only logical, well-reasoned wagers with good value.